The book of Exodus begins where Genesis ends, God's people living in Egypt. But what began as a refuge becomes a place of oppression. In chapters 1 through 5, we meet Moses, the man God would use to set his people free. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt which knew not Joseph. Exodus 1, 8 years have passed. The Israelites have multiplied greatly, just as God promised. But the new Pharaoh sees them as a threat. He enslaves them and forces them into harsh labor. Yet the more they are oppressed, the more they grow. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. Exodus 1, 12. Pharaoh orders all Hebrew baby boys to be killed, thrown into the Nile. It is a time of fear, but also the beginning of God's rescue plan. And the woman conceived and bare a son. She hid him 3 months. Exodus 2, 2. A Levite woman gives birth to a son and hides him to protect him. Eventually, she places him in a basket and sets it among the reeds of the Nile. Pharaoh's daughter finds the child and raises him as her own. She names him Moses, meaning drawn out, because he was drawn out of the water. As an adult, Moses sees an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave and kills the Egyptian. When Pharaoh finds out, Moses flees to Midian, where he becomes a shepherd. And he sat down by a well. Exodus 2, 15. There he marries Zipporah and has a son. Meanwhile, the Israelites cry out under their slavery, and God hears them. And God remembered his covenant. Exodus 2, 24. While tending sheep, Moses sees a bush on fire, but it's not consumed. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. Exodus 3, 2. God speaks to Moses from the bush, calling him by name. I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Exodus 3, 6. God tells Moses he has heard his people's cry, and he is sending Moses to deliver them. Moses is overwhelmed. Who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh? Exodus 3:11. God replies, Certainly I will be with thee. Exodus 3:12. And when Moses asks for God's name, he says, I am that I am. Exodus 3:14. This name reveals God as eternal, present, and self-existent. Still unsure, Moses says the people won't believe him. God gives him 3 signs. 1, his staff turns into a serpent. 2, his hand becomes leprous and is healed. 3, water from the Nile turns to blood, but Moses still protests. I am not eloquent, I am slow of speech. Exodus 4:10. God reminds him that he created the mouth. He can give words. But Moses asks for someone else. God sends Aaron, Moses' brother, to help. He shall be thy spokesman. Exodus 4:16. Moses returns to Egypt with his family, and God reaffirms his mission. Moses and Aaron confront Pharaoh. Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, let my people go. Exodus 5:1. But Pharaoh refuses. Who is the Lord that I should obey his voice? Exodus 5:2. Instead of releasing the Israelites, Pharaoh makes their labor worse. The people turn on Moses, and Moses turns to God. Why is it that thou hast sent me? Exodus 5:22. Moses doesn't yet see the plan, but God is just getting started. Exodus 1:5 shows the tension between human weakness and divine calling. Moses feels unworthy, unqualified, and afraid. But God promises, I will be with you. Even in the silence of suffering, God sees, God hears, and God remembers.